I forgot how hot it was. AC. Beer. Libra. Yeah. Oh,
because they were the ones that I had interaction with on some small level. But if I wouldn't be able to surprise about other species, but as we explained themselves like in the community, they have a
okay. Good old knee brace. There we go. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh man. Hey Tom, how you doing? Appreciate you, bro. Shake and bake, yeah. Sure enough. Let's let a couple more people come in, I guess, you know. I see we have 6, we have 2 likes. It's usual. The conflagration, the confusion, the confliction. Those who move in chaos and they adore and enjoy it without knowing, subtly. It's going to give it a few more minutes. Finish this little water from yesterday. Jesus Christ, you can see all the paint on it, so. Oh man. This reminds me of Florida. A lot of people don't know that Florida gets just as hot. I guess they're used to the humidity and the heat combined. It's just beyond. This is just straight heat. And I did that for a long time. Florida, humidity, 190, 100 something degrees, plus humidity. It just, you either got used to it or you didn't. Just like Puerto Rico, station working out there, 114 on the tarmac, the humidity because of the island. Well, that's what they say. And then you realize, it's not that you're older. You realize everything you have been discussing or stating or talking about, it solidifies. With me, I see 100% truth in the fact of the things I've been shown, people I've communicated with around the world, Edinburgh, Scotland, not to mention Normandy, Holland, everywhere I've been, the people who I've, in my youth, and one thing I can always say, my daughter had the nerve, I got a house, Dad, can you help me with paying the electric and the water? First of all, when you get a house, that means you can afford everything, just like I did. I'm not helping her. I'm beyond that now. And no one wants to pay attention as to why. Like, I'm the guy that grew up, well, I was torn down, raised, and then I had to be rebuilt. And took my grandparents, great-grandparents, and some great-great relatives. And then all the older people around me. I was always around somebody 10, 20, 30 years my senior. All right? But it was always those who I found to be pretty wise and specific in detail. There's a reason why I say this is not a competition. There's a reason why I push things the way I do. Ascension. What it means is not just in a word. There's a reason why I say the things I say. And I've always been straightforward. It's a test. Everyone has a choice. It doesn't mean no one's not going to fail a test. It doesn't mean someone's not going to make it doesn't mean someone's not going to make the wrong choice. I am not here to make a choice for anyone, nor am I ever going to be in competition with anyone. I don't have an ego to stroke. My demeanor is not slothful. I like to follow through with everything I've ever done. It's not about an accomplishment. I look at great study. I look at the ones we have many different names and edifices for. Zionists, this, whatever, right? Most are Christians, this, that. It's funny how individuals can get into the more sublime perversion of things to be accepted as greater than everyone else. Tripping on an ego. There we go. How's that? Yeah, I had to cool it off. Yeah, but I'm not paying the things any, because you know what? Like I stated, the ones who are letting these individuals do this are the bots, are the very people that control the platform, who want to silence you, who want to do that. I don't even want to waste my time with them. Anyways, I was saying, there's a lot of people out here who mean good, and there are those who mean bad. Then there are those who are in betwixt, and though they walk around sure of themselves, there's a template for its missing things. Templates, okay? There are missing things. Obviously, I'm very aware I've covered a plethora of information that could fulfill certain things. I don't think people take the time to look at the fact that missing minerals is very dire and important to who you are. And those missing minerals don't just mean, oh, I have some minerals missing. We're talking about an abundance of your truth of existence. But when you're missing those minerals, it doesn't matter how intelligent or intellectual you sound, intelligent you think you are or intellectual you sound. Those minerals being stripped away rob you of your resilience, good choice making, or better. Yet the real struggle, even with that happening, is how do you overcome it? Now, there are things, I don't want to give it energy. There are things who are afraid of you. So much so that they have to rob you of your physical. Just hear me out. I'm not saying they've robbed you. I'm saying they have to rob you of your existence and use it for theirs. But as I was stating earlier, you have all these groups that come together, regardless of how, and they're able to reach the so-called elite or establish them to create a rulership over you, as you should know they have done. I always look for people to come together. I started using the word collective. It seems like with the minerals being stripped away and all the things to control emotions and feelings, to which they do, is allowing everyone to make bad choices and to hyphen or to put an asterisk or a question mark or, I don't know, something behind it that's questionable, loud, believable, maybe plausible, non. And people move in those areas. None of you have any control. None of you have control at all. And the ones who would want to subjugate for control obviously don't have control because they need a factor of control. But the biggest proponent to it is, how do you find the words to convey, no one has control here, that we're supposed to move as a collective. Yet, how can you when everybody thinks they know everything? What they say, a whole lot of chiefs and not enough engines? It seems like it's almost hard for people to dismiss that fictional side of know everything. So they got to move with it as if I will fake it until I make it. It doesn't work that way. It is, you don't make more somethings where there is nothing. I don't put my hope. I don't have this belief factor. I lean on people's intuitiveness. I have never been the bad guy. Well, you know, coming up with the weed, you know, and the things that I saw, and it was never my intention to be all out of, you know, dysplasia, you know. There was no ever, I was the bully beater. Doesn't mean it right, but I do. I know a lot of my family's history going back. Not fabricated either. Many of people's history is so fabricated. I can at any time stop and go back to an old life, just up and be gone. I would never do that to anyone. Never have. I never had anybody say, the only reason why you helped them people out, them stay was for money or that. No, they didn't have to pay me nothing. I've had, like I said, a beautiful young sister. She's been teaching in the islands, roughly about 15, 16 years, from New York, who stayed with me for a year. You know, she got a degree. And she was working down in Manhattan. You know, she's in the cosplay. This is a big, thick old chocolate girl, a Caribbean woman. Wonderful, beautiful young lady. She's magnificent. Never hit on her. She used to use my computer for her work. I'd be gone fishing or, you know, across the street with Master Moon, Mary Jane Models, Black Diva magazine. Lebanese Puerto Rican guy who starts want to fight me and stuff. So I set him straight and went out the window. He was like, every time I was seeing him, he was skirting around to get upstairs to his mom's. But regardless of that's not ego, it's the truth. I used to walk between Yonkers and Mount Vernon in the Bronx. But he always guardian angel, but I used to go on my own. And I made a name for myself. I wasn't doing it to make a name for myself. When I, you know, like the Black Panther meeting, questioning crap, you know, out of Africa, everything. I'll be the only one going to Sloan Catering, St. Jude, taking my service dog. People in VA commit suicide and survive. What pushed me? Everyone has this inkling of good, but how many people really follow through it? Or they get stuck, you know? I've never once, you know, I'm protective of the children, women, very protective. Insecurities. There are so many. And me, I wanted to have a deeper understanding of them because, you know, it would help me with how I process my thinking and how I address things when I feel like it. Because I'm like, y'all, I talk smack and I get upset at dumb things, you know. I don't have to. I mean, I have a whole life of not getting upset at the dumb things. I don't like using the word society, so I'm being careful what I say. In this world that's been laid out before you, right? Who is more credible? The earth, to which the enemy destroys with your, in hindsight of your blindness, or you moving on it in utter ignorance? That's going back to state the fact that just because I was afforded, I ain't talking about fiat, just because I was afforded different energy to see things and meet individuals, I didn't always ask the right questions, or I didn't always take the opportunity for an betterment. And it was not always the case. I only tell you the stories that I had. There have been many times when I didn't take the opportunity because I was being downright ignorant, not in a way of, malfeasance or being mean or, but sometimes my youth would get in the way because, you want to see and do everything, or try something once or whatever. You got to do all that. Everything ain't all that sweet, trust me. Never once could anybody say I was the bad guy. Never. I never cheated. I don't believe in coveting. But I do expect the better of us all. And sometimes we as a people, we don't see the better of who we are. Or we have those who want to emulate or put out that there's a better, a fake smile, right? We let them rob us of that one chance to make a difference. I knew when I started destroying my furniture with ganja that he could be everything opposite of what he was alluding or showing. I never changed. Now I don't change like that. Change should be growth. It should mean you're going to another, you know what I mean? You want to reach another epithet of your existence. You just don't want to move around in the same quandary of it, And your past is dead. It doesn't matter who's still leaning on the past, because if they're stuck there, how can they move forward? With no great expectations other than existing in the better of their position and what they do for themselves. I knew that when I was destroying that furniture, selling stuff 75 to 80% cheaper than what it was worth, that I was risking taking a chance. It doesn't mean I can't have it again, but what would I have to do to get it back? Well, it's no problem for me. Some of y'all know I had about 800 places I could stay in, live with people in Newark, Montclair, Bloomfield, Camden, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. And people like, oh, Rick, come and stay with me, man. We got the horses. You got the bungalow if you want it. A bungalow with a pool. I had all that. And I said, I'm going to go and stretch my wings. And maybe some people will see it and they've been there, crossed it, even if it was negative, and realize that, okay, they can they can make something positive. Ganja, we went up there and we building, and intuitively, instinctively, I slowed down because I knew something wasn't right. It was nothing I did. I actually was honest, and I made statements on here most were never here. Ugly has no face. It only has a place here because we refuse to call it ugly when it's ugly. We stayed for almost a year in all kind of weather, all kind of insects, deers that look like damn elephants, black widows, tarantulas sitting on your stomach, getting bit by things, rattlesnakes, whatever, sitting on a toilet seat that was -2 degrees. And I toughen. And I don't have to. I don't have to even say that. It's well known I don't have to. I literally have individuals come here who know me recently, and we let the diseases of our past or the diseases around us cause more infliction. And we never did it to ourselves. A choice meaning we can not partake and we can change directions. But we allow ourselves to become sicker. And we want to accomplish something. We want to get ourselves to a place of embetterment and a false narrative of empowerment, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. It depends on, where it's at. But here I am, almost 60 or whatever. And I'm not confused. I'm just very coy and careful of what I say. Which the world in secret is not. It's demanding. It is detrimental to itself. I study people. I don't do it because I'm supposed to. I have to. I do it because I'm supposed to. It's part of who I am. And I wait. And then the predicaments always present themselves nonstop. Like what they're doing to the world, I've seen it for a long time. Nobody wanted to listen. Why? Because it makes you uncomfortable. What did I say about struggle when I explained the ego and the moth, the cocoon, the weaves out of the silk? And the fact that if you open it or if you disrupt the ego's molting, right? Like the snake or the iguana, the gecko, or, whatever lizard, how has to shed this old skin. If you help them, unless it's based upon this time with medical conditions and things where like a gecko, you might have to help remove the over its eye or it'll sunk, it's a little different because different things in different periods of time cause for different actions. But if you don't allow yourself to go through the struggle, and I see the struggle, sadly, and some would say morbidly, as a benefit. It shouldn't be, but how could you deny it when you are living in it? I like to help. And when I see people have good plans, no sordid ideas, I believe in standing and pushing with them. I've uprooted myself on several occasions, put myself in the most different predicaments. We could have had all kind of different outcomes. And I'm talking about not in hindsight, not blind. I did it not because I believed, but because something called. Not because I was being trained to move a certain way and wait for the kill shot. I did it because I was becoming more and more aware. I don't want to tell everybody, if you're not aware, oh well. But there are those who find their awareness. Right now, I'm aching, sore. For a month straight, I've been busting my butt. I made sure I have a good time. You know, whatever a good time is for me, it doesn't mean it's for everybody else. I have injuries. I don't mean on them, but I acknowledge them, feel them. Some people, if they had the injuries I have, they'd probably be laid out, stretched out on 5 milligrams of oxycodone or some crap or whatever they got this now, you know, Flexerol or whatever. I can't do that stuff. It messes with your thought process and what you see. It does. It debilitates. So I literally have pain that if some of you felt it, I don't care what you've been through. I don't. It's not a competition, so shut it. I guarantee you would be at the pain specialist wanting to get something to keep that pain away. And I do all this with a clear heart. I remember my father's face and my mother's. I have not forgotten them, nor have I forsaken them regardless of whatever pain. All right? At that time, that's the past. It's nothing that I have to swim in the Jericho River for. The Faison, or any of them, right? Which we all be calling the Mississippi. That's not the name of that river, per se. I can never be the bad guy. I can never. But I'm aware that everything in this world, remember I always stated, upside down inverted, backwards and reverse. I was the only one doing that for the last 35 years, so I don't want to hear this. Man, I was thinking it too. It was probably because I was saying it. Because nobody was. People say, what do you mean, backwards and reverse? What do you mean upside down inverted? If y'all only know how many times I've had to explain that. Holy shit. I don't know, about tens of thousands of times I've literally over 30 had to explain that. I can never be the bad guy. There's nothing to gain in it. The devil's advocate. That's so stupid. I only seek balance. Remember, with me, it's not about good or bad as y'all perceive it. Balance. Doesn't mean an equal basis, 50-50 of evil and bad. You have a choice that is 100% one way or 100% the other way. There's no sitting on the fence. None whatsoever. There's so many good people out here. So many. And there's so many who are good and they hold on to things that they shouldn't. On the res, I was just pawpaw, grandpa to all the children and, you know, dad to a lot of the older women and who I trained. They considered me their father, you know. I can't go into stories because it's not a HIPAA, but it's nobody's business with some of these women's fathers. I know. Not to demean them. And although I would say, no, I'm your brother. That's it. I'm your older brother to the younglings. I respected them. I never had to make an excuse. If somebody was, and I didn't have to always know them. I know a lot of people worry about things, and I get that. I can't blame anyone. The taxi cab driver, right? The one, he drank those protein shakes. Oh, he's Jamaican. I said, yeah, man, I got you, bro. He had his cab, but he was homeless. I was like, something don't make sense. So I had some people telling me things, and I was like, let me see for myself. And we always chatted, you know. My boy in the print shop, he was the only one running this print shop, a friend of mine, he's ex-Army. He always came by to have his 2 Slitch Smoke Liquor bulls. You know, the one with the silver with the blue bull, right? I forget what it's called. I ain't drink that crap. Every lunchtime. You all right? You in there? By the door. I said, knock on the door, ring the bell. I might have been on the back, you know, but he come in. What's up, bro? What's the name of the store? Gave me your drink. So I had a pineapple with the shot of wheatgrass and the, you know, my little green drink, right? He always brought it at lunchtime, so it was a deal we had. And he'd sit down, we talk for like the hour, you know what I mean? Oh, what's up, baby? And he says, yo, what's up with the Jamaican, the cab driver, bro? I said, I'm gonna let him stay here. I gave him like, you know, because I told him to save his money. He had to pay me. I said, save your money, bro. It's like Renee Drops, the one that from the Caribbean, so family was all on her because she was actually the college graduate living in New York, cosplaying, making little weird suits, and I help her. It's like my daughter, you know. She's bigger than me, like taller, just beautiful woman, though. You know, she's beautiful. She stayed with me almost 2 years. Never, no. Let me tell you something. I'm not like that. But the Jamaican guy, he was with me for 3 months. He went out driving, and he didn't come back for like a month. I figured, okay, maybe he got. So I had his clothes, and I had 3 big walk-in closets in New York in my old apartment. He comes out, he shows up, and he reeking like a motherfucker. I was like, I know you ain't driving nobody in that cab smelling like that, bro. Go in there and get your shower, man. I'm heading out, man. I gotta go down Moon and if a couple of girls come by, let them in, let them see. They're gonna sit down, they're gonna chill, watch movies, maybe cook something. All right, this is this one, and this is the other one. This is who my 2 people are. He's like, okay. I said, well, boy, before they come here, you got my whole apartment stinking. You know, I got back. That brother didn't, excuse my language, he didn't bathe. The 2 girls came and they said they stayed there for like 20 minutes. They got out of there because he was stinking so bad. I walked by him, grabbed his shit, put it outside the door because we had a deal. It didn't have to be a handshake. I says, look, you don't have to pay. You save your money. And the money you're making driving that New York cab, you got that orange thing, you know, he said, you can go and get you a friggin' house or an apartment. So it wasn't like he couldn't have, but I knew where he came from. I knew some of his family. He had a coke problem. I didn't even know it. I grabbed his crap, and you know me, at that time I was really strong. I grabbed his crap one arm, picked it up, threw it outside, and he looked at me, and I saw these little white baggies come out. I said, yo, what the fuck is this? He said, oh, man, you know, I'm driving late at night. No, man, you got to crack. You was a coke, crackhead or something, man. You got to go. You seen some of my friends that police officers, da-da-da. That's the only time I actually got really, really angry. And I was getting ready to snatch him up and throw him head first out the door without even seeing that I closed the door. He saw it. He felt it. And he was right there starting to apologize. I have a problem. Go get help. Let's go get help. I can't help you. Because here you had. You can meet my people. You know, doors open. Nobody's coming in. Nobody's no drugs. I've never been the bad guy. I can never be. I know too much. Way too much. I know more than any of y'all can even imagine. But I can't say everything either. It's just, I can't. You'll have to make choices on your own. My cousin Junebug, he watches my videos. He had a house built up there in Colorado, not that far from his father's, I don't think. But he's a bus mechanic by himself. He's great. All of us know how to work on vehicles. That was, an old race car and all that, my Nova. I built that motor. I don't like bragging about it. My Uncle Reggie, when we were little kids, he used to teach us how to break down one of the hardest transmissions ever, a little MG midget. That thing had more crap. That's the background I come from. The 6 years of abuse afforded me a whole different perception. I could have got grounded in that and been off the chain and probably not here or life or on death row. That was not the case. I listened. Not always to perfection, but I listen. I know how to shut the fuck up and listen. Sometimes swallow it. Just listen, even if I knew something. One of the hardest things for people with egos to do is shut the fuck up. Excuse my language, but being honest. Some people can't hear because there's too much noise in their head. I can never be the bad guy. I'm not the good guy. I'm more so that for whatever good means, but I could never be the bad guy. That's just no way. I've taken on people's pain. My grandmother and my great grandmother and the men, Reverend Charles Wright, Dynamite Charlie Wright, Joe Louis Sketchbox, right? My grandpa. They'd be like, "You're gonna be a reverend, you're gonna be a preacher." I was like, I'm not brainwashed and delusional like y'all. Mama Tina said she had to fake it just to get up north to finish doing what her job was, so they realized that it was gone. The kikes at passing the messages during the fire pits and all the brothers and the deacons with guns. Yeah, that's a real thing. I got that good part. Did I do bad things? Absolutely. Beyond the scope of what bad is. But I'm not the bad guy. I'm the type of individual, if I'm discussing something and I'm well steeped in it, and I hear somebody else talking about it, and they're all over the place, I shut up and just go, right there, I know this person is not solid. Or maybe that's the information so I'm not there to judge them. I'm not there to argue, and this is what it is, and this is what, if I'm doing something a certain way and I tell you, fuck off, and you trying to do some dumb shit, I'll say, look, man, fuck away, we're going to do it the way I said. That's when you need to back the fuck off, and we get it done. All the other ways, and we'll do it another time. We'll try you in another time. When I fucking saying something, I know what the fuck I'm saying. That's what it is. I'm hard that way, and there's nothing that can change that. Especially when I've done it the other ways. But I cannot afford to be the bad guy. Not because I just, selling the drugs, and that should never happen. I should have been giving the weed away free, shit. But I give information away free, and because people don't have no information, they just shit on it because they have no idea. Subservient. If you're not paying for it, well, what's the worth of it? You pay for what you get. You're so fucking brainwashed. I'm not. Everything that I've gotten as far as knowledge was given to me freely. I'm the individual who wants to follow through with people because I see that greatness. I can be a part of it. I know hostile takeovers and none of that goofy shit. I'm too old for that. I can go and get 5 million. Hell, right now, I can just screen this down and, baby girl, Dad wants $1 million. And the moment I get done, it would be in the fucking bank. I will never do it. I made an agreement with myself. When I walked away from my family, I didn't leave. If they call right now, I'd be gone. Where you at? You know what I mean? I saw what the rich I saw what that money does. I'd rather give myself. Of myself. Give of myself, excuse me. It's energy that needs to be given. And there's not a lot of it around to go to be given, or not enough around, going around to be given. And I do my best. And sometimes I get so weak when I'm sharing this because I'm aware of this energy. When I'm sharing it, there are times when I'm just, my joints ache more. My head throbs. My vision gets blurry. And then I'll test it and I'll pull in like I'm asking the trees, the rocks, the foundation of earth, and the energy I put out, I bring it back and I have clarity. And I'm like, oh, this is real. And then I give it back to them. How many of y'all saw the video where I cut my mouth? And in about 15 seconds, it had healed. All right, you thought it was a fake, huh? That blood, the cut open in my mouth, the knife by accident, really, well, kind of, but I said, go ahead and do it. And then it's healed. When I burnt myself, 3rd degree, or first, when it's blistering, and I showed y'all with butter, ghee, coconut oil, and castor oil, it was healed up in an hour. I know. I don't want y'all to believe shit. I don't know what the word belief, it means lack of knowing. It's an ignorant term. The fact that cold water to shock your system if you got a cold and it knocks it right out. Does it kill a parasite? Does it free? I don't know. The fact that I've been telling people for a long, I used to sit down and talk to Dr. Seavey over in Harlem. I used to sit down with him right across his desk. He'd give me that goddamn 7-hour dissertation. I'm like, God damn, I just wanted to know. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there like this. Man, Seavey just raising that weed and talking his ass off. And I'm like, God damn, bro, I 10 minutes of it. I thought I got the answer. I get a whole book. Because I wanted to make sure if it worked for me, I can share it with people and say, look, it helped me a little bit. The fact that I was on clonazepam for all them years. And I just said, enough. And I quit the last time. This is the 3rd time doing this. Doesn't mean I don't feel it, but I don't have to give it to y'all. I know y'all's ignorance, y'all never see it or pay attention. But I want to be a guide zone for some. That no matter what, you can push through. I'm going to use the word because y'all understand it. I believe in y'all more than y'all believe in yourselves. I know more about y'all than you know about yourself. Sometimes I'm going to slip and say things I'm not supposed to. I care about y'all more than you can imagine. Yeah. I see the destruction. I see the faces. And it hurts. Yeah. I see the fake tough guys. I see the fake tough guys. I see the people who got standards and fortitude. Being around my great grandparents was riveting. I watched my grandmother outlive 3 husbands. Good men. Very good men. Chuck Berry and I'm gonna find a picture of nighttime. George Knight, my pa, the cousins. Chuck Berry's come through. I remember everybody used to be messing with him about the porn movie he made. Yeah. I used to tell people and they said it's crazy. Not up until like 5 or 6 years ago, they started finding the porn video with my second uncle, grandpa status, like, yeah. Chuck Berry, yes, yeah, I'll get the picture of this. I don't think y'all understand how tight this circle is. Just because I'm over here with y'all and it doesn't mean I'm not still part of it. And other enemies probably going, they don't know shit. They know what we tell them and what they control. When I was telling people that my grandmother took care of Dizzy Gillespie in his last days, whatever it was. There was people know, and there were people who thought I was crazy. I'm part of that, but I'm not there. I believe in y'all. Y'all just don't believe in yourself. I don't know how much longer I can do this. I don't. Whenever people need my help, like now, I give it. I'm far from perfect, yet we are so perfect that they have to poison us. They have to tax us. They have to eradicate fictionally. They don't listen to me. They can kill all they want. You ain't. They can know this. I can't say that. I can't. Maybe another day. I got a story to tell. Okay, there you go. I had to get out of that real quick. I just want to see the better of all of you. The day I see the better of you all, I'll leave. I'll be gone. But I don't see it yet. I still see too much struggle. As painful as it is, you gotta get through it. I'm there with you, and I don't like it. You gotta get through it. When I was in Newark, right, 80 homes I could have stayed at. What did I do? I went to the shelter. I knew some veterans, and I was always at the library, lend books. I was always at, the Momo, talking to people, artists who knew me. Until somebody saw me, like, oh, don't say, I don't want them to see me talking to you. I don't want them to know, I got the back, man, Abe Jersey Pack, I'm running out the back because I don't want to see that. I know this person. You're right. I didn't know you know. Because people get a little, you know what I mean? And I left there and I went to New York. It's old stomping grounds. And I had some stuff. So I went and got it. Well, actually, I went into a 30-day program for veterans, PTSD. Usually they have it at Lions and all that kind of stuff. This was different. And because I was a blackout drinker, that actually helped me get even in there quicker. I'm like, why? I was like, nah, I ain't no alcoholic. I just get drunk so I don't remember nothing. And I started explaining. I realized there's some things I can't say. Do you know how hard that is? You know who which car was? His name was Barnes. He was Tops, Green Beret, Delta Force, the VA. Yes, that guy. His cousin. Yes. For my relative, Mr. Frank. Yeah, yeah. And he always chatted with me and Muhammad. My boy Abdul Muhammad from Newark, New Jersey, boxer. He was Army, you know. We'd be in there sparring. Everybody like, damn, these muggers are quick. Um, until they wanted me to sit up there and be the president for this 30-day thing. And we had this little Jew woman always wanted to feed pills to everybody. I was like, y'all stop taking that crap. They're killing you. Anyway, Mr. Barnes. Yeah, Nicky Barnes' cousin. Yeah. He was, like I said, he was Delta Force, Vietnam. Big. But I needed it. So that way I wouldn't blackout drink. And that was the only way I was able to stop blackout drinking. Being in that 30-day program. I should have went to Lions, to PTSD. We all talk about the things we went through in the military. Yeah, I guess you had some drug addicts. Well, we ain't really conversed with them, you know, because it was about getting our heads right. So we wouldn't be walking around a raging inferno wanting to blast everybody we see. Y'all don't know how it is. Y'all really don't. Y'all don't. I can't afford to be the bad guy. People's perceptions. Right now in this world, the biggest problem is control. And everyone who has that issue don't have control because they don't have control over themselves. If you really have control of yourself, all the things of yesterday and the things of tomorrow don't matter. Just right now matters what's being done. I see the greatness in all of you. Some of you be better fathers, better mothers, better lovers. It's a plethora. You don't have to make yourself be these things. That's the balance. The balance is being able to parlay with self and have your convictions and know. I always look for the better, man. I don't see the cup again half full or half empty. I just see a glass and I see some water and some juice. And hey, what you gonna pour it in there? What? You gonna pour it halfway? You gonna fill it up? I mean, it's up to you what you want to drink. So I don't have to be optimistic. The choice is you are or you not. That's imperative. That's all it is. Following through, getting my black belts, learning how to get my feet in the shuffles and how to, weave and bob. You know what I'm saying? What goes with the, what goes with the duck and and the weave, right? When you duck, what goes with it? What's the counter? You know what I'm saying? When I bob, right? Why am I bobbing? Am I peekabooing? Am I jumping all the way around? Am I going, the 360? Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? What's really happening? I used to build balsa planes, right? You get the dope, you got the balsa wood, the wood glue, the needles, and you cut out all the already stamped, pre-cut balsa wood parts to make the A-frame and all that, the wings, big ones, Put a motor on it, or you propel and let it, but you have your dope and the hardening agent that, unless you're using that poly whatever with the little heating gun. But I used to like to get the dope, the tissue paper, and watch it tighten up like canvas and water for painting. Yeah, for those who know how to paint, you get the beautiful canvas brand new and they hit it with the water and it tightens up and then you do your thing with your acrylic or your oils, right? What is that statement? We struggle not against, I forget what it is, but we study, it's about what, against principalities, the flesh. I'm that guy you can leave at your house. Watch it. I'll motherfucking patrol your house, your perimeter 24/7. Sleep when I gotta sleep. I'm that one. I can say it because I actually am. This is my wife and children. Bro, they safe. They ain't got never worry about nothing else other than, look, I can't let y'all out there. Okay, I'm following. Yeah, that's my mind state. That's what's in my heart. It's my gut. I can say that because I've done it more than once. I don't get confused. I don't get conflicted. I just sit there and go, please make a better choice. Even I have to make proper choices. I don't know how many times I've had people reach out to me. Yo, man, I didn't know, bro. 15 years later, well, figure it out. There's other ones out there. I don't have the time right now. It's not being mean. It's letting you know that choices are important. And really, sometimes we have to think them through. What do y'all think is going on right now from what you see? For those who are in the military, you should have an inkling, a better idea. When National Guard being moved, and FBI and marshals and all of them are moving with police. And this is a test bed. And the majority of you have no idea, though. You're comfortable. It's convenient. It's not convenient for me to ask y'all for donations to help me with building that. No, that was a test. I've said it, 15 times? And the majority fell. I'm supposed to be over at the post office. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I got to get jacked so I can take this thing off, but I got to find a place where I can take it off and be able to move my truck because I burned a lot of gas with this weight on the back of my truck. Little things, my passport, I got to get that together again. But I'm not so hard pressed. I just know I need to do it. That's how they have it established. But there are things I need to do. Yet the things that I'm supposed to be doing, I'm doing right now. It sounds conflicting, right? But it's not. You're supposed to be able to look at 20 to 30, maybe 50 different things and compartmentalize and spread them out. You don't have to be in a class going, this test paragraph, this one, getting all ready for these different tests and, no, you're supposed to be able to do this naturally. So it's not overwhelming. It's only overwhelming because everything's been laid out before you. It's been convenient. I'll take care of that. The bills paid. Set the table, right? You pay all these bills. You just wasted how much time for shit that's supposed to be naturally free. And when you think about that, if you don't have someone who's rational around you, you get angry and you want to lash out at all the company's phone calls, and that's not the way to carry on. You see? There's balance in everything. Someone said, but what you was doing with ganja, you're defending that? We didn't do anything. We didn't do nothing other than what we're supposed to be doing, building, when it's too hot, chilling out, have a couple beers, right? Just laugh and joke. And get back to what we're doing. There's no lock on time, and you know what I mean? Some people, like I said, it's kind of hard, But at the same time, we have a world And when I'm driving around, I watch a world that just keeps moving on the conveyor belt of destruction. They just get up on it, step up on it, like Logan's Run. Everybody's 16, and then they going up to the light, being exploded, you know, floating, like they're going to ascend. No, that's not how it's done. But this is where we're at. And this is how things happen. I had a friend of mine who's Palestinian. He was in the army, right? Palestinian American. He went to Palestine. He was with his family when those fake bastards blew a building up 2 blocks away from him. Y'all know how many American Palestinians been over there been killed? See, this fake ass government, they need to keep you quiet. How many mixed Palestinian, white skin, or Puerto Rican, or black? How many of them there were? You have no idea because you're letting them control you. Well, when he got back, he was telling me about it. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it's regular people eating breakfast, having a good time, you know, kids. And these bastards, with your tax money, decided to bring a building down with families in it. That's like they said on the 7th, they were killing children. No, this video is showing them protecting the children, getting them out the way. And they were set up by, you know who, but kill no children. These are sick beasts. I don't want to talk bad about them because, you know, but it is what it is. I want to protect y'all the best I can. But you got to know how to protect yourselves. If you don't move as a collective, every enemy you have moves together, except y'all. It doesn't rub off. I know my drab is long and boring. You know, my apologies. I have no problem apologizing. No, it was never empty. I have to remind myself to humble myself. You know, when you're capable and able to do things, doesn't mean that you're supposed to. Like my daughter, I can literally, she always wants to give me $5 million. It's always been, she's like, Dad, I'm gonna give you much. I'll just give you $5 million. No. And someone would say, well, you just become obsessed with saying no. No, it's bigger than that. And I don't want to say small minds, but the small thought process, because it's convenient, won't allow people to see it different than that. You guys will probably grab it and it'd be gone in a year. I remember one time I was holding $200,000 where I was like, well, what am I going to do with this $200,000? Here goes 20,000. Here goes 20,000. Y'all enjoy. The rest I took. What do I want? I didn't want nothing. So I gave away another 5 and another 10,000. Bought son a car. Bought, you know, donated a lot. To the point where I had like, I don't know, like 40,000, 50,000 left. And I was like, whatever. Now I know that people who want it though. And I'm always game to help. I've gotten to the point where I've helped so many people. I'm not bragging or anything. And I'm not saying help me. Everyone has a choice. I've helped people for so long. It doesn't just stop. Sometimes I could use it. Sometimes I could use it. I can't lie, y'all. Y'all know that. I just can't. I can't lie. There are times I want to. I know just don't say nothing because I can't lie. I Can't find it in me. I don't know how to. But I appreciate y'all. I really do. And I know, man, he can do that. Why ain't he just going to do it? Well, there are people who will vouch for me. I don't have to prove anything. That's the beautiful thing. You know, that's the thing. And I don't care about that either. That should explain a lot of things. I was poisoned by things bigger than y'all can imagine. Not once. I don't think y'all get it. Plausibility and deniability is the greatest thing, right? It's a lie. Plausibility and a lie. No, that's a lie. What do you say? Y'all just pop, hey, baby girl. Hey, Big Red Thomas. What do you say, Tom? Hey, Millennial. I do not help folks all the time anymore because it burned me out. I was not focused on me enough. Yeah, I can dig it. Everyone's got a story, bro. It's not mine. It's not mine. So it's unimportant. That's your story. I'm telling mine, but I can dig it. I will always help people out. It doesn't matter. There's no excuses. There's no hand bud shakers. There's no pocket party samplers. There's no nothing. I will always. The gain is in the wealth of just the action itself. I got my knee swole up a little bit, y'all. Oh, it's all right. It's all right. I will always push forward. Like I said, it's my story. I taught martial arts for about 18, 20 years. Even when I was studying to become a sabunam in Taekwondo, I was able to do that in 9 months, surprisingly. Though I wasn't surprised. I had been studying it with individuals who did it. So I kind of, I like forums and all that. So I kind of went in their heads up. And the Kwanjanum, my grandmaster in Korean Kwanjanum, Schuller, I was able to teach him the way of the sword, the Bushido. And he really, really appreciated that. It was fun. Somebody stole my $5,000 Henzo. Anyway, they stole my sword. I think it was my stepdaughter. I don't know. It was worth a lot of money. You can always get another one. That's how I looked at it. Right? My 6-foot bow staff, I bought another one just to practice certain things and movements because my wrist became messed up. I figured if I started working these things, maybe help it a little bit. It's not always the case, right? You get those radial pains and to your fingertips and you're swelling up in your wrists, and what do you do? You just keep pushing forward. You can't complain all the time. I'll walk around like, oh, my back, my knee. Half time I'm just making fun of it, get it off, We have a magnificent world, y'all, a beautiful world. But everybody's easily manipulated. And we forget the most quintessential, the most, not mind-numbing, the most beneficial things. And I can't blame no one because, we're in that time. There's a lot of problems. There's a lot of problems in the world, But it won't get fixed until until we start fixing it. Step kid's always doing the most. Yeah, William, but it's all right, brother. You know what I mean? It's all right. It was okay. I was gonna probably give it to her because she really wanted to get into martial arts, Yeah, there's so much good. I just hope y'all never forget how much good there is. And the good doesn't mean that you placate your resilience and being protective. You gotta have a little mustard, a little mean to you. You gotta be able to deal with things. So don't let that go anywhere. But be the better you. Make the better choices. When you start doing that more often, the more you become more reliable of self, and you see and appreciate so many things. And it's a growing factor that comes with it. Now I'm getting ready to shut this down because I don't want to. I'm a little too long with it as it is. We're never by ourselves, people. I said in Ellie, we're never by ourselves. We belong to one another, y'all. A collective. And y'all need to know the importance of that again, because they've pulled you away from the collective. They made y'all be singularity. And there's no singularity that works alone. None. In the world of lies, well, how do you think they're defeating you? How do you think they're defeating you? That's part of the balance, but that is not the mainstay. Oh, we will. Yes, 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 brother. We live and we learn. As long as we learn, we live. I'm gonna go ahead and shout y'all out and shut it down. I appreciate all of y'all, like I said. Don't think I don't. It's always a lesson to be learned. More so than I can even imagine. I hope we did a good job. Went over there to check our work. Y'all know I was tired. I was trying to get out. He was getting ready to get his truck and go in there and stay there. That's dedication. I like that. Not me. I'm dedicated, but I ain't nothing. But we gotta finish. I guess we gotta finish it up this evening. So I might go live and show y'all, because we didn't have enough paint to get all the HVAC stuff, the ductwork and all that. But and we got Cashapp. Oh, I appreciate it, Tom. I appreciate it, bro. Whenever, it's all right. I'm gonna lay back down for about an hour. We came in last night. I drank like 2 beers. We ordered. It was like 3:00 in the morning. We got Mexican food. So I'm tired. I ain't gonna lie. So I can be good and fresh, do what needs to be done. I actually was up because I was gonna go to the post office, and I was like, gas. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I'm gonna fill out an application there too, because I don't mind working, but I just can't be on my feet all day. 100% disabled means 100% disabled, y'all. My body is literally, yeah. And I know you would never think it, right? Well, some would say masking it over, whatever. I don't care what names people need to feel comfortable. My body, I've pretty much, and I had to contain my energy too. I beat it up, attaining and following through, and I didn't have the greatest of information on how to curb things. You gotta remember, I grew up when the food was pretty good and watched it go bad. So much shit. Anyway, where else is that? I'm gonna shout you guys off and shout you guys out. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate new subscribers. Welcome to the tribe. And yes, I got work to do on that damn big thing. I've got work to do. I got work to do. And it's, anyway, and hopefully the winter time before the end, I could take y'all out a little bushcrafting and show y'all some things. Maybe trap a couple of rabbits or squirrels. I don't know. Just to show you still got the little skills that I picked up through the years, making fires, tough in the cold. Great stuff, But y'all know I love y'all, man. I'm eternally bonded to y'all. And trust me, I really, really freaking am. I'm not saying I'm big on it. It's just what it is. And y'all are great. If you only knew how great y'all were. William, appreciate you coming in, brother. How you doing? So, what's happening, mi hermano? Got Tom's right in the house, baby girl Slaughter, Big Red Thomas Millennial. Hey, mama. How you doing, hon? Max V. My girl Snowing coming in. Oh, Mag. What's going on? Teeth still resting. I think my mouth. I'm saying too much, brother. King Kid Rush. What's happening? How you doing, bro? So-called Brandushi. I don't know how to say that. My fault. Andy Rayla, what's happening, fam? What's going on? And then we had the people who had to say whatever they had to say. Max, you'll be all right, youngin. Jagger 65, okay. But I appreciate everybody, I really do. My biggest issue is that I really do not ask for help when I need it until it's way past. Yeah, you know what? There's nothing wrong with asking for help. Even if you ask the wrong ones, it should never deter you. It never. Sometimes it's well known. I mean, it's easy to throw people out, like, I can't do it, but, because there's consequences and they're heavy. I can't get into it because I'm not a fear monger and all that. I don't do that. I just tell people there's choices. And y'all should look into it. Find what books are based on relationships, choices, then betterment, empowerment. Don't get all stuck on self, because to internalize your God presence means you expand on all the things that are self-explanatory. We're not obligated to a fictional world of existence. People think they're obligated only because they've been conditioned to think they are based off of fear, and if you don't do this or that, CPS, the things that go against everything of your life. The balance is eternal and internal. And it should exude from you if you really move in it. Something, all right? That's why it's my mouth talking. Everyone has a story. Just don't fucking lie. Please don't. You don't have to say everything, but don't lie, man. Don't do it. It's unnecessary. And when you lie, there are people who know. Right? Trust me. It's like these idiots still talking about round earth and outer space. They are paid psychopaths. Right? Don't listen to them. Free yourself. Appreciate you guys.